Welcome to the Opinionation Podcast, where free speech, opinions, and original thought still matter in America.
Welcome back, everyone. It is I, King Daddy, back from vacation. I would like to start the podcast today by letting you know that I had a really nice time at Myrtle Beach this year. We stayed in North Myrtle because regular Myrtle, not going to lie, shithole. But North Myrtle was fairly nice. We stayed at a nice resort there. I'm going to give it a shout out. It's called the Dunes Village Resort. It's a little more kid friendly than what I like, but it was still very nice. It was a good time of year to go. Not really a lot of people down there. It wasn't packed. Traffic wasn't bad. Beach was nice. Didn't look dirty like it does during the summertime. Fish was good. Room was clean. Had a really nice time. The Sacred Queen and I spent a couple of days down there for our anniversary and really enjoyed ourselves. Obviously, due to some of my health issues, I couldn't do some of the things this time that I normally do. There was no drinking, no cigar smoking, not a lot of long walks on the beach. I did manage to make it down to the water and get my feet wet. Thank you, Sacred Queen, for allowing me to be able to go down there with your help, and I certainly appreciate it. But today's podcast is about a personal rant of mine. And I normally do not rant about things personally. You know that's a fucking lie, I do. But this one really chapped my ass. In an age where fast food workers are demanding $15 an hour, the nurses at Carolina Healthcare just got a new package for entry-level nurses where they now make as much money as a seasoned nurse, and the seasoned nurses haven't gotten raises. And Bank of America just announced that they are raising their minimum wage for their low totem pole workers. I guess it's tellers and people who work in places like that, from $15 to $17 an hour. And those things are wonderful. I believe that some of these workers deserve more money. I don't really think that a fast food worker needs $15 an hour for fucking up your burger, but they want it. But there is a downside to this, and I'm going to tell you what happened to me both yesterday and today. Okay, so yesterday I went to physical therapy. And I go to physical therapy because I have horrible balance. I can't stand still without wobbling back and forth like a weeble. Do you remember weebles? They wobble, but they don't fall down. Now, I really very seldom fall down. I have, not going to lie, but I very seldom fall down. But I still have trouble standing for long periods of time in one spot. Once I get my momentum going and I'm walking, I do a little better, but I have difficulty. So I'm taking physical therapy to help strengthen my legs and to help with my nerves and my balance and different things that are going on with me. So I take the physical therapy. So anyway, I walk into the physical therapist office. This is my second appointment. The first time I went up to the counter like a normal person, checked in, filled out my paperwork, handed it back to the girl at the desk, sat down, they called my name, I went to the back. When you go for your follow-up visits, after the paperwork is done, you do not go to the desk and talk to the girl. You go to a kiosk. Now I have to stand at this kiosk because it's not low enough. I'm not in a wheelchair, but if I were, the kiosk is not low enough to reach the screen to do everything that you need to do. So I had to stand there and I had to push a button. First of all, it was a touch screen. I had to touch the screen saying what I was there for. So I was there for physical therapy. They give you the choice for the audiology department, occupational therapy, or physical therapy. So I chose physical therapy. So then another screen pops up where you have to type in your first and last name. So you type in your first and last name, and then it switches over and asks you to type in your birth date. So I typed in my birth date, and I clicked OK and moved on to the next screen. And the next screen commenced to telling me that I needed to pay a $35 copay. Well, I looked around and there was nobody to give my fucking copay to. So upon further examination of this kiosk machine, I happened to notice that it had a slot where I could slide my bank card into the slot to pay my $35 copay. So I did this. Moved on about my business. It told me everything was okay, printed my receipt, and I went and took a seat. The kiosk process took approximately 5 minutes. In the course of that 5 minutes, I had to hang on to the side of the kiosk with one hand to push the buttons. Could have probably, if I had been a little better balanced, could have probably done it in 2. But the bottom line is, I should not have to stand in front of a fucking robot, computerized robot, to punch in my personal information in order for them to check me in to go to my physical therapy appointment. Where is the real person? Well, here's the problem with the real person now. Everybody in the workplace is demanding so much extra money for doing their job, which again, I'm not saying that they do not deserve this money. I've got a reason for what I'm telling you, a method to my madness, if you will. But everybody's asking for more money, so instead of trimming back the paycheck of the $1 million bonus motherfucking CEO of the hospital, they cut out workers. And they spend their extra money on these kiosk machines so that you have to punch in the information, which is very uncomfortable to do. And I can imagine if I were an elderly person who didn't understand computers, that the kiosk would absolutely be difficult to the point of not being able to do it. So you have these people in the high up positions who are making all this money, and instead of paying their employees what they probably deserve for doing the healthcare job, and I have done the healthcare job and I understand that the pay is not great. I also understood when I took the job that the pay was not great, nor was it going to be great. It was good and it was adequate, but it was not great. But here's the problem. They're taking money that could be used to pay real people to do a job dealing with real people, because 90% of healthcare consists of human contact and touch. So if you're going to take the human contact and touch out of healthcare, why am I paying such a fucking high hospital bill? I don't want to pay for a kiosk robot to check me in. I want to walk up to the desk and I want an actual person to check me in for my appointment. I want to give an actual person my $35 copay money, not a machine. So then I go today to have a scan of my back. I walk into the radiology department of the outpatient radiology center. I walk in the front door, and what do I see but another fucking kiosk? And the funny thing about this is they have a girl out front at the kiosk trying to help me check in. If I'm going to have to punch in my own name and my own birth date and scan my own bank card, Why can't that girl that they're paying to stand there like a Walmart greeter, why can't they just sit her at a fucking desk and let me walk in and check in with her? So now they're paying this girl to greet me and assist me if I need it, but not check me in. Now I show up for my scan today. It is early in the morning. I am wobbly, not doing very well with the walking whatsoever. I had to walk from fucking Jerusalem to get to the inside of this center. I'm already tired. My back hurts. My legs are wobbly. And I have to again stand there for 5 minutes in front of the robot computer. And while I'm standing there at the robot computer, I have some cutesy little girl bothering the shit out of me while I'm already trying to do it. So when I walk in the door, they give me a number. I go sit down. Then they call my number. And after they call my number, I have to get up again, which is difficult today, walk back over to the kiosk, check myself in on the kiosk, and then go back over there and sit down. And then when they finally call my number again for me to go back and have my scan, I have to walk all the way down this big-ass long hallway to the room where they're doing my scan. And then all the way back out to the car from there. Wobbling again like a weeble. But there is the problem. Automation is fantastic to a degree. But why are you automating something that takes human contact? You can now go into some restaurants, especially fast food restaurants, and you can place your order on a kiosk there. Why do they have people standing at the front on a register and a kiosk? I don't understand why you have to pay the kiosk to get your food when there's people 8 feet away. Panera Bread is the one that I'm talking about here. They have the kiosk. I have heard, and I do not know because I don't travel much anymore, but there are some McDonald's in some other places up north and out west that also have kiosks. Of course, I wouldn't eat McDonald's if you paid me to, but that's just an example. So if you're going to have employees and a kiosk, what's the point? But the point is, from a leadership position in corporate America, they would rather pay the money for the technology than to pay a worker $15 an hour for asking you if you want fries with that. I really don't blame them, because if you go, and I have eaten at McDonald's, it's been years, but I remember quite often going there that no matter what you ordered, especially in the drive-thru, it was not correct. So you're going to ask for $15 an hour so that you can't count change and you can't place an order correctly and you can't bag an order correctly. It is a burger and fries. Read the ticket. Extra pickle, no onion, not hard. But they're wanting $15 an hour, and corporate America has started a stalemate with these people. Okay, you demand $15 an hour. We're going to give you $15 an hour. We're going to raise the minimum wage in some states to $15 an hour. But because you demand this, we're going to cut our workforce in half or more so that we can afford to pay people $15 an hour. But guess what? not going to be near as many of you to pay because we're just not going to do it. So you're actually shooting yourself in the foot by asking for more money. Do I believe that is fair? No. Do I think burger flippers need $15 an hour? No. But I do think that they need a fair wage for what they do. Minimum wage is probably not a fair wage unless you're a high school kid needing extra money to go ride around uptown and go see a few movies here and there. But for the most part, if you are an adult working at a fast food restaurant, first of all, I ask this question, why? But if you are, they should pay you more. $15 an hour, no. $15 an hour should probably be reserved for somebody who's doing something a little more technical with a little bit more responsibility behind it than putting some ketchup on a bun and slapping it on top of a piece of beef. That's just my opinion. That's why we're called the Opinionation Podcast. And I will probably get told to fuck off in emails later, and I'm fine with that. But that's what's happening with automation. People are demanding higher salaries for the menial tasks that they're doing, and corporate America is hearing their cry and giving it to them, cutting the workforce, keeping the $1 million bonuses in their own pockets, getting rich while paying less. The service quality is absolute shit. I felt like yesterday and today at the hospital that the quality for the service that I was getting in a health care provider's facility was absolute shit. And I'm going to tell you where this took place. It's called Atrium Health, formerly Carolinas Healthcare, located in Charlotte, North Carolina. That is who owns this. That is who is doing this. I'm pretty sure that it's other healthcare agencies all over the country that are following suit and doing this as well. But I know for a fact that Atrium Health, because this is where I go. Now hear this. I have my general practitioner doctor. Thank God I go in there and there's an actual person that I can talk to. I have a cardiologist, still an actual person for now. I have a neurologist, and again, still an actual person. I have an oncologist, again, still an actual person for now. But you can see the trend where they are going in the radiology department and in the physical therapy department, that they are leaning toward these kiosks. And when I worked for the system, I heard talk of kiosks were coming, but never saw them come. But now that I am a patient, I'm going to the doctor and I am seeing kiosks at 2 places out of 5 that I go have healthcare services rendered to me. And I don't like it. I want to walk into an office and I want to be greeted by a human fucking being, not a machine. Don't understand it. When I walk into a restaurant, I want to be waited on or have my order taken by a human being. I don't even like the fact that now when you go some places, they hand you a cup and you fix your own damn drink. You get paid for service. Put tea in my cup. Put a lid on my cup. Hand me the straw. I will put the straw in there, but I want you to put the drink in my cup. Panera gives you their little plastic cup, and you have to walk through a crowd of people wait in line to get ice, bump elbows with people with their children running all over the fucking room, and God, I hate that, just to fix myself a goddamn drink when they get paid to serve me, put drink in my fucking cup. You know, here's what I don't understand. Panera, you walk in there, they give you the cup, you fix your own drink, but they bring you the food to your table. What the hell? At least when we used to go to Freddy's and eat the veggie burger, which they had a very, very good veggie burger, but they closed. We used to go to Freddy's. They would give you the cup, and you would have to walk to the counter and get your food. They didn't bring it to you. I mean, why do they want to tease you with bringing you your food, but you fix your own fucking drink? It makes no sense. You're better off to go to a sit-down restaurant where you have an actual waitress who brings you your food, fills your beverage, asks you if you need anything else, and then if you liked what she did, you could leave her the tip of your choice. And that leads me to another thing. Now, hell, everybody's wanting to be tipped. You go places, and they have a tip line on the thing where you sign for your name for your bank card when you use it. Would you like to add a tip? If I wanted to add a tip, I would leave it on the fucking table. I may want to add a tip, but I don't want to be put on the spot right here standing at the counter while I'm signing my credit card receipt, trying to figure out how much of a tip that I think you deserve. Especially when I go somewhere and you do nothing. So now if I go somewhere that has a kiosk and it prints my receipt and asks me for a fucking tip, I am going to absolutely blow a goddamn gasket, because what am I tipping? The machine? What am I supposed to do with a machine for a tip? Give it a couple of drops of oil so it won't squeak? Who knows? But if I start going to these places with kiosk and it prints a receipt asking me how much of a tip that I want to leave, I am absolutely going to blow a gasket. I do not like all this automated shit. Bring back customer service. We deserve customer service. We pay high prices for everything that we buy, and we deserve to be serviced. In closing, I would like to mention this one thing. We have some really good news here at the podcast network. Pretty soon, there is going to be another podcast on our network. We will announce the date that it starts in a couple of episodes from now. But it's going to be called Grapple Gods. You can find Grapple Gods now on Instagram and Twitter at Grapple Gods. It is a podcast dedicated to the love of 70s, 80s, and early 90s style territory wrestling, primarily the old NWA territories, where we focus on a lot of the old school wrestlers from back in the day, you know, the ones that people my age grew up with, not all these high-flying, oiled-up pretty boys that you see on that stupid fucking WWE shit. So get ready for that. We will be giving you the information to be able to find that at a later time. In the meantime, this is King Daddy. Hope you've enjoyed the rant for today. If you would like to email us, we are at opinionnation84@gmail.com. And we can be found on social media, Twitter and Instagram at OpinionNation84. Thank you very much and have a wonderful, wonderful day.